Welcome to the Purposed Audacity podcast, where we aim to nurture, amplify voices, and inspire our community to stand boldly in their Christian identity. Join Brian and Charmian Marie weekly as they have riveting discussions surrounding healing, restoration, and purpose. This is Purposed Audacity, powered by PAJE magazine.
Hey guys, welcome to Purposed Audacity. I know Charmian normally does that, but I'm doing it this time, right? My name is Brian.
And I'm Charmian Marie. And welcome to episode 12.
That's right. I missed that part. I left that part for her. Welcome to episode 12.
Wow, I feel like it's good that we're doing this since this is the topic basically for this episode. And I feel like first and foremost, like the last 3 episodes, like I feel like this has been a very powerful January. In terms of the starting thing. Hey, Rabba. In terms of the starting off our 2022 properly, and making sure that we know how we can move forward and where we can improve on all these things. So saying that to say, speaking of improvement, the question is, how do we balance marriage with ministry? Simple.
Disclaimer. We are still learning this. We are getting to know just even how to balance that out. But we have a few points. That we can definitely talk about. So definitely make sure you comment below if you have any more points that you can add to this.
To say that from now.
If you have any more points that they can add to this, and any encouragement you can add to this. Married people in the comments. You know what I mean? Let's go. So how do we balance marriage and ministry? First and foremost, I do believe, fully wholeheartedly believe that your marriage is your first ministry. No matter what. Your marriage is your first ministry. Your family comes next, and anything else after that, pretty much. Jesus is always first in everything, above all else. Above all else. So I know people that say, "Oh, about God?" No, trust me, God is a way above. He's like a whole other.
There's no ranking.
There's no ranking there.
They're just there.
But and so when it comes down to balancing marriage and ministry, it can be tricky. It can be, but it takes an awareness. It takes conversation, and it takes time. It takes patience.
And we're going to talk about both church ministry and also ministry outside, right?
Yeah, man, church ministry and stuff outside. Because ministry is not just in the church. You have ministry outside the church as well. And so, this is a
ministry.
PAJE is a ministry outside of church
and purpose
and Purpose Audacity. So you see me, and for the persons watching from foreign, it's more like, yes, something easy.
Oh, right. Yes, you get what we're saying? Hey. But yeah,
honestly, I also think, especially for me, we're a certain interesting dynamic. I've always been in ministry. She's always been in ministry.
But in a different way.
I'm very involved. My heart posture is always like, I like to serve people.
He's community based.
And yes, I like to serve. I love to serve people. I love to help people. And so when I just started even in ministry, I was a part of a lot of ministries. I was a part of
11.
There was a number, sure. I was a part of music ministry. I was a part of praise and worship. I've been a part of drama. I've been a part of step ministry called Steppers for Christ. I've been a part of ministry that works with young men. Many things. And so Sunday school, all that, right? Youth ministry, them stuff there. So that was great when I was single. When I was single, I could be doing this, that, up there and everywhere. Bam, 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 bam. Once I got married, I realized that my priorities had to shift. Once I got married, I realized that I had to do things a bit more strategically and a bit more focused. Because what I realized is that I couldn't be doing the 11,000 in her mind ministries and also still have time for her. not with only with her sharing that with me that like we actually need to spend some time together.
Actually, I want to just stick a pin right here because he
Jesus,
makes it sound
please.
very kind in terms
Oh
of
my
how I
word.
shared it or whatever.
Why you have to bring people
But yeah,
into
man,
the
no,
dirty laundry?
I know because it was transparent and they're seeing us grow before their eyes.
Alright.
But I have, like, from even before we got married and whatever, I've always said it to him, I'm not gonna compete with nobody. Right? I'm not into the competition. If you are mine and I am yours, like, we'll understand that and like we'll make time for each other and all of that. No, I understand too, because of course I've been in ministry as well, but we'll understand that God is paramount and stuff like that. But at the same time, God put us together to accomplish a goal as a married couple in the kingdom, and so it's important for us to seek out that, and so getting back to him furthering the point and stuff like that, he recognized that, all right, cool, the priority is shifting or whatever from those interesting conversations that we had on whatever. It was not a perfect transition, and that's what I want to make sure that we understand, because I mean sometimes people say, oh, just your marriage is the first ministry and whatever, and they think that things snap into right, and especially for the fact that he was so community based and stuff, it took a while for him to be able to shimmy out.
And the truth is, it does take wisdom and understanding,
Yes.
because the reality is you have to be understanding, especially to that person who has been committed for so long. This has been a big part of their life, to be part of this and part of that.
Yeah.
To just come in and say, you're cut from it.
Exactly.
It can bring some sort of resentment and contention.
Yeah.
So it has to be a play-by-play kind of a thing. Like, how do we work out our time versus that time? How do we work out? And those are things that definitely have to be said.
Yeah.
She definitely said them.
Yeah.
And I mean, I agree to them, because I realize in myself, if I didn't set certain boundaries up, if I didn't adhere to certain boundaries, realizing that this is gonna affect our relationship, which at the end of the day, no matter what I do out the road, no matter what I'm doing in church, I have to come back home here.
Right.
And I want to make sure that when I come back home here, I come back to a peaceful home. It means then I will have to make sure that
you're nurturing the relationship.
we're nurturing the relationship, and we're making sure that we're making time together. We're making time together with God, and we're making time to make sure that whatever we the Lord is giving us as a vision, to make sure that it's being fulfilled as well. So but it starts with conversation.
Right.
It really does. I really believe it starts with conversation. It starts with an understanding and just being humble, open, and transparent. Michael God says that. But it starts with a conversation.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and I mean, especially even coming from my place or whatever. So to give me a background, so we acknowledge that he was in 11 ministries, and like community has been his life and stuff like that. From somebody like as a female, I've always had it in me that I should go over to the church that my husband worships at. Like, no brainer for me, because I believe that my family should learn from the same camp. And so I was willing to make that sacrifice. So for me, I had to make. So it's almost like initially I was like, all right, cool. Well, I made a sacrifice. I was heavily involved in my old church. I was on praise team. I used to be a youth leader at one point. I used to coordinate services every second Sunday. I used to do all of those things, and I left all that behind and I was to come to your church. So in my mind, initially I was like, why was it so difficult for you to like make that sacrifice to say, all right, cool, you go and make some trips to or whatever. But then I had to pray, and I had to have these open conversations with Brian to say, all right, you know what, like, all right, cool, I need to understand more of your heart for the community that you're serving in and stuff, and I need to understand where I sit in that as well, because I'm not just gonna leave him in the field just to serve alone or whatever. So how can I support him in that? And through supporting him in that, then it became easier for him to make whatever compromises, because he saw that I was not fighting him, but I was willing to support him, but I still wanted my time as his wife, you know. And so from that now, so like sometimes I would help him like type out something, or I helped him create a chart at one point for the youth group, or you know, things like that, you know, because I mean sometimes he doesn't have the time to do all those things. So I'm mentioning all of this to say that sometimes we speak about, you know, balancing marriage and things like that, balancing marriage and ministry and things, but sometimes to get to that sweet spot, we need to make sure that we're not seeming like we're coming at each other, but rather journeying together to a certain point toward that sweet spot. So I think that definitely helped to work for us as well.
I think also you have to be aware of the dynamic of your marriage. You have to be very aware of the dynamic of your marriage, because the dynamic of your marriage could be where both of you, when it comes down to ministry, y'all work together. It's you and that person, and you're in it. And so time is not necessarily less spent. Because at least you're together, you're working together, stuff are happening, and you're also still communicating with each other and stuff. Or your marriage dynamic is really one of you really into ministry a lot, and the other is like it's not that they're against it, or they're not supportive. They're just not in the front line. They're just not in the front in the front doing the bag of things along with you, and that's okay. That's fine.
Don't ever force your spouse to be doing that.
Don't do it, because what you also realize is that what you don't want is to try and force this person to transform for you. You don't want to. As a matter of fact, even in a marriage, you still have a certain individuality level that you keep. Like she's still Charmy and Marie, and I'm still Brian Beadle. And I'm still Brian. And I'm still Brian and I'm still Brian that loves to do this and that, and really still she's Charmy and that loves to do this and that, and really do those always come together and on the similar plane? No, not really. That's fine. That's okay.
It's a matter of accepting what the other person comes with.
You have to. You have to know who you're in it with, and you have to know the dynamic of your marriage. Also, I think time management. Time management is great. Charmy and I started to help me with that. Time management was not my greatest area. It's still a work in progress for me, but I've realized a lot that I have to set time for certain things. So I have to set time with her to say, let's go do something together. Let's have a conversation. Let's sit down. Let's talk about some stuff. Maybe there's been a lot of stuff going on. We've had a whole month, and we never really sit down and talk about what's been going on the whole month. So maybe we need to do that now. Or let's go on a date, or set up even date nights, just so we can have that time together. We're also, and this is also another thing, when it's a date night or when it's a conversation for, let's have a heart-to-heart conversation, don't bring ministry into it. Try not to bring ministry into it. Try not to whatever. If it comes up,
elaborate on that. What do you mean?
Meaning, all right, because sometimes we can be having a discussion, and all the discussions we're having is just about ministry, about church, about what we're doing and whatever. But we're not having a conversation about us. You see me? We're not having a conversation about how she feels or what she feels or how I'm feeling and what I'm going through and whatever. So, and as I said, so ministry can come up if you're talking about it in relation to like how you feel and everything. But I don't think, I should be very careful not for it to be the main topic. For it to be the main thing. Thanks for watching the episode of Purpose Audacity, guys.
We really appreciate your support, and we want to encourage you to keep watching.
Alright, so remember to like, share, and subscribe, and make sure you comment down below, alright?
Yeah, we really appreciate it. It helps us to build this community, expand this community, and above all of that, make an impact for the kingdom.
That's right.